Hi.
Hello.
We're back for a podcast or some shit.
Just shut up, stop talking, cease and desist, there's a good girl. Go, 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 go.
Moisturize me, moisturize me.
No, it is Regan, and I am once again joined by my wonderful co-host, Pete, where we are wanting to talk about literally anything else.
Anything else other than this?
But we've got to get through it because there's some sauce later.
There is some.
But before then, we continue with... See, when I first got ready to rewatch these episodes, I honestly thought that this episode was several episodes from now. I honestly thought there was some spacage.
Oh, okay.
Which I think this episode could have benefited from.
Yes, big time.
I don't think anyone was sitting there being like, but what has Shieldor been up to? Because the episode does that kind of like pan around. It is a nice kind of closure almost. We could just be like, oh, not everything's okay.
Yeah.
The doctor was right. He may have made a mistake.
Big mistake.
But it would have been better had we just not known about that. If not at all, but further down the line.
Yeah. I don't know where else it could have gone though. Maybe it could have swapped with Sleep No More.
I don't know. But just maybe not even in Capaldi's run, but just
could have just fobbed her off on Jodie Whittaker.
way further down the line. I don't know.
I just as generally as a whole, I feel like this episode tried to contain too much and would have been better off as a big finish or something, because they're trying to put so much in there, because obviously it has been like hundreds of years since we saw her last.
Yeah.
Effectively, I just think
the anvil has definitely been invented.
The anvil is definitely invented. I just feel like they try and crunch too much in, and that's where this one falls apart most, I think.
But this episode is The Woman Who Lived.
Yeah.
And it's by someone different.
It is. It's
by Catherine Trenger.
Yeah, who is like the first female writer they've had in a long time at this point. A lot of the writers...
They've had... I mean, I know Doctor Who's run has not been good for female writers, but I think there was one for the last season.
Yeah, but I think that might have been...
That was Kill the Moon.
Yeah, I think that is the distance between female writers.
Not great, guys.
It's not great, but it's also a shame that this one isn't very good.
Yeah, and it's also a shame that the one prior to that was also
not very good. I feel awful saying it. It makes me feel awful, but come on. I mean...
We know that people can write.
We know that people can write. We know that there are some fantastic female writers.
Yeah.
But what have you done? I'm sorry. It just is... I don't know.
You know what we should do? And this might be us setting us maybe an insurmountable challenge for this episode.
Okay.
We may need to try and find things that are good. I'm sorry, Pete.
Racking my brain.
I know. As I came up with it, I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
There is one good thing.
Yeah?
It's quite a Clara Light episode.
True. I thought you were going to say the episode ends.
The episode ends!
There is an ending.
We get more guitar.
Yes. And that guitar that we get is very nice.
Yeah, it is. It's Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
It's very good.
It's very nice. Anyway, but that's ages away.
Because before even the fucking title sequence, we get a robbery.
We get a robbery.
Of one of the most well-spoken
robbers in the world.
Well, that and also the aristocratical gentleman who's in the carriage. I can't remember some of his lines, but long and the short of it is,
I will not be robbed.
Robbed by some brigand?
Yeah. And you're like, hey, yeah, you are. Actually, he doesn't. But anyway.
No. So we get someone in classical kind of highwayman garb.
Stand and
holding
deliver.
up this carriage. And then cuts to the Doctor walking out the TARDIS, and
with
he
a beepy.
has a thing.
He has a beepy.
He has a thing. Now, Pete, what is your favourite Doctor thing that he has made? I know
the Tardis.
Yeah,
just for the name, I like the Tardis.
I think mine might be the device that he has. Again, throwing back to a reference that we had only last episode, the device that he has on the bus.
Oh, that is a good one.
With his little dish, and it flies off and hits someone. It's like, sorry, that was my little dish.
But I do also like the gadget he makes in Vincent.
Yes,
I
that
like
is
that.
cool.
Yeah.
I do also like the device that he has when he's chasing the adipose.
Yes, I like that
The
too.
little wee, 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 wee.
Or his device that goes ding
Oh,
for the
yeah.
Weeping Angels. It goes ding when there's stuff.
It's so beautifully
He
vague.
has many wonderful things, but I do like the two just for the name.
That is fair. Yeah, so he walks out and he's got a new kind of
Gadget. He does give it a name, and I can't remember what it is.
I've got
Because
it
they make
written
a
down.
joke about it later
I've got
as
it
well.
written down. It is. I think it's a curio
Curio detector.
detector.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Because it detects curios. Oh,
But
I
even
didn't
in that
realise.
moment, that he's like, "Wait a minute, that is why I call that." It's weird the way that this
What are curios?
curiosities.
Is that what it says? It's
Yeah, yeah.
curio. That's what it means. Excellent.
So the way that this episode kind of frames the Doctor coming out of the TARDIS is almost like he can hear that scream
Yeah.
from the carriage. I don't know if the scream is from the highwayman himself or what is revealed. I
Isn't
think
it
it is what's
from-
revealed.
Yeah. We see some very glowy eyes,
Now-
and the lady in the carriage goes. "Ah!"
Now, the reveal of these glowy eyes, the first reveal, is actually quite sinister. The way
Really cool.
the sound that they make, the
Yeah.
framing of it, it's very cool.
Really, really cool.
And that's where that ends
Yeah, that's
because
the
it's
last cool
never
bit.
scary again. And
I also feel like I don't know if it's just a really random thing,
Hmm.
but when he does come out of the TARDIS, he looks very glittery. All his suit is
Oh, I thought you were saying the
glittery.
TARDIS looks good.
No, he does. I'm like, where have you been? It just
Okay.
yeah. I don't know if that's just something that my TV was doing or whatever, but it looked like he was glittery.
Fair.
Random. There you go.
He's been in the glitter drawer again. That's where he keeps all his gizmos. It's just behind this huger than life glitter drawer.
Yeah.
So he follows his detector, and
Beep, 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 beep.
I love again because it's perfect Capaldi mentality that he follows this thing like the crow flies.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
a carriage in the way. He'll just walk
He's going
it.
through the carriage. Yeah, he just suddenly appears between these two people getting robbed. Like, going, sorry.
And the Doctor does have some cool little bits of dialogue, but it is unfortunately overshadowed by the whole. But this is my
This
robbery.
is my robbery.
You can't be robbing my robbery. Blah, blah, blah. I think he says something like passing like fish in the night. Oh wait, is that ships?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's like, just, are you talking to me? Just try again in a bit and I promise I'll listen.
but then again,
And then he goes,
and
I
immediately
really
after-
did try, I'm sorry.
And I think the carriage just pulls away.
Well, yeah, they start arguing, don't they? Because the Doctor goes to the back and he's trying to get into the trunk, and then the highwayman starts pointing the gun
like,
at him.
"Motherfucker, I will shoot
Yeah,
you."
I will shoot you in the face. Yeah. Literally, like, they just start fighting. And so I think that literally you see the carriageman, like, look around and then just kind of go, off they go. Best carriageman ever.
Oh yeah, good guy.
Like, that is not the cunt of the week. That is the
No.
top dog of the week. He did his job.
Don't worry, I have my daft cunt of the week.
So do I.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. He just carries on and just drives away. And then they're like, no! And the Doctor's going, you ruined my robbery. And then we get
The reveal.
the reveal.
It's oh man.
I can't even remember what she says.
I don't know, but it's
Either way,
it's shit.
It's awful.
Isn't it just like hello old man?
Hello, Doctor. Yeah.
Was it? I
it
hope it
old
wasn't
man or
like. Did you
doctor?
miss me or?
I don't think. That might be for the drop.
Yeah. Well, this is the drop.
I think literally she does say, oh, no, she says, what took you so long, old man?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Then we drop.
Yes.
Because she takes her mask and her hat off. And, oh, look, it's a shielder.
But unfortunately, it doesn't drop into the credits of the end of the episode. There's still more episodes to go because we've just got the intro, and it comes back out, and a Shielder reveals through a load of dialogue that we're not going to cover because it's shit. That she doesn't remember being called a Shielder because I think the Doctor calls out. To her
Yeah, he
with
says,
that
oh, it's a
name. She's
shielder.
like,
And she's like,
"Who the
who's a
fuck's that?"
shielder? And he's like, wait, what? A shielder, daughter of Einar? Chuckles? I called him Chuckles? And she's like, oh, yeah, I think I remember the village.
Which again, even this dialogue from the Doctor would be far nicer for us as like a remembering thing if it wasn't literally the
the
next
previous
episode.
Yeah, and she's like completely forgotten the village.
Well, she says, "I think I remember."
I think I remember the village.
And he's
It's
like,
probably
"You
in
love
my
that
diary."
village."
Yeah, you love that village. Everyone in that village would have died for you. And she's like, "Oh, cool, great, thanks."
Did she love that village? Was there any point where she was like walking around hugging the buildings? Or I know you don't have to. I'm being
No,
crass,
no,
but you don't.
mean,
There's no point.
she does at one point say, "This is my place. I can't go anywhere else."
Oh, okay.
When they were chatting after the puppet, she does say something like, "This is my place. I don't belong anywhere else. I can't go," because the doctor tells her to run away again, and she says, "No, this is my place."
Fair.
So she did love the village. She also should have loved her father, but she's forgotten him.
Now there's a lot of this shit, but we'll get to it.
Like, why wouldn't you remember your dad? I get that the whole finite memory, infinite lifespan. Cling on to something, my love.
Well, also that, but I suppose we can get to it, seeing as we're on topic. But I can understand further down the line, there's more lives that she might potentially want to use the white chocolate tablet on to be able to bring back, and it'd be difficult to choose.
Yeah.
But in this moment, she only has her dad.
Yeah.
Why?
Why didn't she choose her dad?
No, but
I don't get it. I don't get why she didn't choose her dad.
either way,
Didn't choose her dad.
We wander off to Ashildor's big old.
Not after finding out that she's changed her name.
Now.
Because she's like, "Please stop calling me Ashildor. I don't remember that name."
Okay.
And then he's like, "Okay, what do you call yourself?" "Me."
Now, what do you think about...
Oh my god, isn't it shite?
See, I wasn't immediately on the wall of this is shite, but I'm glad that...
It's awful.
Yeah. What about the reasoning that she gives behind it?
What, that there's just me.
Yeah, there's no husband, there's no children.
There's just me. So if it's just you, pick a fun name. Or change it up.
Yeah, with the turn of the century.
Turn of the century. Oh, you know what? I'm going to choose a new name.
Yeah.
Me is shite.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Because I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah,
Oh, no, okay, cool.
because I understand that, you know, calling yourself a shielder in the 20th century is probably not good.
No.
Because you're just going to stand out like a sore thumb. And if you're an immortal that isn't aging, you don't want to stand out like a sore thumb.
But no cunt's called me.
No cunt's called me either. Lady me. No. I don't like it.
No.
I get the vibe that they're going for. That she is a single solitary being. And that is sad.
Yeah.
It genuinely is really sad. But why? Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't like it.
Okay. Fair play.
But then, yeah, doesn't she basically say, "Look, we're both hunting for the same thing. I'll help you. You'll help me. We'll find it. Let's go back to my house."
Yes. Now, so we're walking back to the house, but something is watching them from out of the bushes.
Going.
It's Brannigan.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Brannigan.
Yeah. It's a shame that he's a bit of a problematic character.
Yeah.
He does make some statements which aren't great, but
No, but we don't. We don't listen to that.
he's a cuddly cat.
I'm an old-fashioned cat. No. It's even worse. It's Ardwell Hanlon because I love him. Oh, anyway, never mind.
But it's fucking not.
It's not.
But we'll get to whatever this shit is. Now, yeah, so I don't know much about the time period, so I'm not going to start jumping to conclusions here.
Yes.
Ashildor...
Me.
Sorry. I finally learned how to say it, Pete, and now I can't get it out of my head.
Me.
Yes.
Or the nightmare. Either or.
Whatever you want. But within the context of this, it would probably be me. So, what age would you put me at, just from looks alone?
She's a kid.
Yeah?
Isn't she?
So
What? I don't even think she's much more than like 14, 15?
So the actress is actually 20.
Yeah, she's just...
But she has
face.
one. Yeah, she's one of those actresses.
Yeah.
She just looks really young.
I don't know. They never really
What was
say
the
anything.
transaction? What did it look like for her to acquire this house?
Please, sir, can I have a house?
Like, it's bad enough that she's presumably just turning up with boxes of shiny cups and shit that
Yeah.
she's stolen from people and being like, "I want house."
I want house, please. Thanks very much.
But like, back then, wasn't it like you have to come from
I don't know.
a family or something? You can't just buy a fucking house.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Unless she kind of semi-adopted a family at some point. and used them.
Ugh.
I don't know. But there are many questions about her age.
Yeah.
Like, can I tell you about it yet?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
The babies thing.
Yeah.
She's had children. How old is she? Because she looks like a child. She is talked about like she is a child in the previous episode.
Well, the Doctor does also say at some point, like, I wanted to save this young woman.
Young woman.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they've just... I don't... It's just... It's a bit creepy.
But, okay, I'm
do you know what I mean?
talking about a Shieldor in the episode, so I can use that name.
Yeah.
Past episode. She does portray herself as a child.
As a child. She's playing with puppets.
Yeah. Oh, come on, like, I've still got Minch the scary ass Yoda puppet.
That's not what I mean. She is just she's being a child. She's not helping
The way
out
that
with
she
the
presents herself
Yeah,
is-
she's not helping the adults fix the suits and stuff and get everything ready.
And like with the Mayans, when she goes from the timid and scared to the no, we'll fuck you up, that is very much what a child would do.
Yeah, and when she comes back down and is hugging her dad, she's like properly holding her little face and like she is very childlike.
Which makes it even worse. Our boy Sam, who comes in a bit later, some of the comments he fucking makes.
Yeah.
Which is gross.
There's just lots of weirdness. And obviously, I know she's hundreds of years old.
But aesthetically,
physically,
yeah,
it's just a bit weird to get your head around that she is essentially... I think that's probably why they never really age her specifically. But it is just... I find it strange.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I know that she is just a young-faced actress, but Anyway, but yes, transaction to the house. I don't understand how it would have worked.
So
maybe she killed them.
That's not great.
Well, no, but she doesn't care, does she?
No, that could be something that they would do.
Yeah. Anyway,
house. Yeah, and I can't remember most of the dialogue in this, but I think.
Neither can I.
But the main point is that it's revealed that all the books around are snippets of
her
Mi's
life.
life.
Yeah. But, because they're chatting a little bit about stuff, and she mentions that she was a queen, cured the village of the plague.
She was
a
soldier,
soldier archer person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's basically just trying to figure out what's going on, and she's letting him know she can't remember half of it, so she writes it down.
I will say, well, because we are still trying to hopefully find little good bits for the writers, the writer's sake. I do like the opening of the pages. There's ink smudges where tears have fallen. I do quite like that.
Yeah.
As morbid as it is.
Yeah. Because she's basically left the Doctor in her little library while she fucks off to go and see somebody.
What's the transaction these days for getting paper? Because this girl's like got a lot of paper to write all of these books.
It's also all the same paper.
Yeah.
And she's clearly been writing for eons, unless she's all just transcribed it.
These first sets of books should be a leaf and a block of wood.
Literally.
Just slammed together.
Yeah, but she's just cobbled it all together. It's odd. It is odd.
As much as I do like, because obviously, if you're a decent human being, you advocate for anyone who, within reason, who wants to take up a new skill, and you try and support them and move them through it. I don't know whether you can take the black and white stance that if you're persistent at anything over so many hours, you will become an expert at it.
There's no way.
No.
There's no... Like, for example, the fact that she can do that voice... Just because you practice that doesn't mean you can suddenly become a middle-aged man with your vocal cords.
Yeah, I don't...
Talk to any trans human being and it is not always possible.
No.
You just don't physiologically have that capacity. And yeah, some people are just going to be shite at archery. Some people are going to be really good at archery.
Speaking of someone who's a bad dancer, I don't think that's ever going to change.
I can spend hours dancing and it's never going to be good. Yeah, the fact that, it takes... however many hours. Does she even quotes an hour, doesn't she, to become an expert? No.
No, absolutely not.
No, you could learn all the theory about it, for sure.
Yeah.
I could technically tell you how to dance if I studied for hours and hours and hours, but I couldn't do it.
God damn it, me for
I'm not
young
physically...
impressionable children who are going to watch this and be like, I could become an expert at anything.
Yeah, I cannot physically become on-point ballet dancer. I can't physically do it.
No,
And there's no way.
Trying to think of something else that I'd want to do and probably can't. Again, guitar, because of my coordination issues and things like that.
There we go. There's always things. So yeah, it was just weird. It was weird. Have a go at everything for sure.
Yeah, of course. But don't take this on face value that you'll be able to become an expert. It'd be lovely if you could. But,
Yeah.
But not always.
But yeah. So he's reading the manuscripts.
Yeah. I think, isn't this the...
Where he reads about the children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this
is devastating.
Devastating and really well
done. Yeah.
The visual of just the empty 3 cots.
Mm-hmm. And her just sobbing into a toy.
Yeah.
Did you see that there's a deleted scene?
No.
There's a deleted scene where she's literally left the house and she walks past a plague doctor and basically says, I think it's to do with sanitation. Everybody's dead, I think it's to do with sanitation, blah, 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 and walks off crying. And then the plague doctor takes his mask off and it's the doctor.
Oh,
and he's just like looking at her like, shit. Yeah. Jeez. Like kind of keeping it, because he does say he's kept an eye on her, left her in a leper colony at one point. So it was a nice little scene to show that he is actually looking at her. But then why wouldn't you just talk to her? Just talk to her. She just lost her children. He knows what that's like.
Yeah.
He knows what that is like. And he just leaves her. So I kind of liked the scene, the deleted scene, but I am also glad that it stayed a deleted scene because it doesn't
paint the doctor in a particularly good way.
His facial expression is fantastic. Like you can tell that he's hurting for her, but
there is something that's raised later in the episode, and this might be me looking at it too black and white. So please say either way. Could we argue that some of what me becomes is almost by the doctor's making, especially from what you're describing there? I mean, again, deleted scene, but if that is in our headcanon,
how
because that's the
cold she is.
The reason why the doctor doesn't want her to come with him.
I also think that he is seeing in her a possibility of what he could become if he's alone.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But again, surely the natural progression is like, I want to help this person, and then hopefully by helping them, they help me. And
yeah.
It seems like an odd thing it seems very kind of loosey-goosey reason for him not taking her. I know she's done some not great stuff.
Yeah. I don't think that he's not taken her because she has done bad things. I think he's not taking her because of what he says is that the two of them together, they've got such a vastly different attitude to life than normal people that they would just become dangerous and nasty. Okay. I think they'd feed off of each other's like apathy towards the human race, because I know that the doctor thinks everything is wonderful and beautiful and precious to people.
Yeah.
But if you're with another immortal where time doesn't really matter, you'll eventually end up feeding off of each other and being like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I think that that's what he's worried about. And he knows he can't become that. But I don't think he thinks he's necessarily strong enough to prevent her from rubbing off on him in that way. I don't know. It becomes really complicated when you think about it.
Yeah.
And obviously it's just fiction. But I do just think that he is worried that he's got a dark part.
Yes,
he knows he does, which we've seen. And I think he's worried that if he hangs out with her, they'll just get lost.
He needs that human...
I think he needs a human companion.
I don't know if I'm using this word rightly, like fragility, is that
yeah.
right? Where they're not around forever. They're fleeting. They'll live life hopefully to the max because they don't live forever, and they make the changes that they make in the moment because they are mortal.
Yeah.
And will make a decision that an immortal being probably wouldn't come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
And the empathy that comes from that.
Yeah. I think that's what he's worrying about. But yeah, I do think that he is in part to blame for the way she is. It would obviously be slightly different. An immortal, like a Time Lord, has a different biological chemistry, so probably, he's obviously able to remember a lot fucking more than she can. Yeah. Because she's just got a human brain. Well, Time Lords, I think, canonically have got 3 brain stems, so there's clearly other extra bits and bobs going on in there. Yeah. So, I get it. that she would lose some stuff. But yeah, I don't think he should have. He does, I think, admit that he made a mistake and left her too long. He says some wonderful stuff later. Actually,
He does,
I was about to say it all, but you know,
Well, no,
spoilers,
we'll get to that because
We'll
we've
get
got
there.
some shit to sift through
We have,
before we.
because while he's reading
get
through
there.
about the dead children, she's off in the bushes,
Yeah.
where we
Talking
see
to-
slightly more, but not all of it.
Now, this is a very one-sided conversation. I know it has to be to not reveal what this thing is, but what expression is she picking up being like, oh, don't worry, I haven't told him about you and things like that. This thing's just sitting there like,
I think he is growling a wee bit. I don't know.
okay.
But also, yeah, I know it's got to be the one-sided to not reveal very much, but there's no way he would have just gone and said nothing. He
Yeah.
would have replied.
Just
right?
sitting there in silence.
We just needed a couple of harsh cuts. Like part of her conversation, cut to the doctor for a little bit. Her part of the conversation,
Yeah.
cut to the doctor. That's all that needed to be.
Didn't need to be one shot. But
Yeah, it was odd.
again, this later, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but this section of the story with this creature, in my opinion, is the weakest part of
Yeah.
the story and doesn't need to exist.
It's like it's a little add-on. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, maybe we need an alien. Let's chuck in an alien.
It's the polar opposite of what I suppose Family of Blood were doing, where you could
Yeah.
argue to a certain extent the alien threat in that was a side point, and it was more John Smith and the Doctor and the chemistry there and the new life that he cooked up there. That was the main focus.
Yeah.
But they did that beautifully, and this is just shit.
Like you say, is like a side story. This is a tag on. I think at the end. It's another one of its downfalls. It's another extra bit that it didn't need to have, which is just cramming again too much into an episode and it all going a bit tits up.
So I think Me says that because the Doctor's talking about the thing that he was after with his curio scanner.
Yes.
And she makes the conclusion that maybe they're after the same thing.
Yeah.
So she proposes a housebreak into the people who are riding that carriage.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really much to say about the housebreak scene. There's some quirky, jaunty music that's
It's
played.
slapstick comedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The shades are back! Hooray! Sonic specs are back!
Oh, yay.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah, I mean, I suppose he lights a candle, and that's fun. I don't know, Pete. I feel like I need him to. It's like, again, it was more Matt Smith's Doctor that made this a real thing, but it's like the magical wand thing. I enjoy the fact that he has something physical to hold, to point. It's his tool that he holds. I like that.
Fair.
That's not advocating for that always being good, because Jodie's and to some extension Shooty's Sonics aren't great.
They're not my favourite at all.
But I'd still probably take them over the Sonic specs. I'm
So
sorry.
rude.
I know.
But I'd forgotten as well that at this point Capaldi's still got Matt Smith's screwdriver. We don't get Wonderful Blue Thing until Doctor
But
Mysterio.
does he still have it?
I think he still
No, because
has
he's given it to Davros.
Oh fuck, yeah.
No, that's gone.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
See, I forgot he was without a screwdriver for so long.
Yeah.
I thought he was just choosing
No, because I think
specs.
that's when the Sonic specs turn up, is in that arc.
Yeah, he has those at in the Magician's Apprentice, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Oh, I forgot that they were a complete trade over.
Yeah. It's gone. As sad as I am about it, it's gone.
It gone.
Yeah.
God, it takes him a long time to get a new screwdriver.
It does. It's a very pretty screwdriver
I
when
love
you get
it.
it. It's one of my favourites.
I love it so much.
But I can't remember when is it at the start of Bill's run?
It's at the end of Doctor Mysterio episode. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because doesn't the TARDIS just sort of spit
No,
it out?
I lie. It's at the end of. It's at the end of this series.
Oh, okay.
It might not be.
Well, I'm looking forward to whenever it turns up because it's very pretty. And it's better than the Sonic specs anyway. So
It's at the end of. God, what's the last episode in this series? What's it called?
isn't it Heaven?
Is that Heaven Sent?
Yeah, because it's Hell. Wait, no,
Hellbent.
Hellbent.
Is it Hellbent?
Yeah, because Heaven Sent is.
I think it's at the very end of Hellbent.
Yeah.
before he flies away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Cool.
it's not important.
But we'll get there.
Tangent.
Um,
Where were we? Housebreak.
we're in the housebreak. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. They will almost wake up. Oh no, wait, because
They do wake him up.
Yes, but we've got to get the gem first. I think that gets got first. Before that.
Yeah. We've gone upstairs, found the gem.
I've got it here.
Eyes of Hades.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
supposed to be a gateway to the dead. I think they say.
I can't remember. Let me see if I can.
It's pretty in purple.
I've written here. No, the Sonic Shades are back.
Hey, the Sonic Shades are back.
Yeah, it's supposedly wards off evil spirits and protects people on their journey to the afterlife.
That's it. It's pretty in purple.
Yeah,
Its curio scanner's gone.
It threw a nice purple shader on the shot.
Yep, I love it.
I think at this point also Mee's having a real go at the Doctor, because she does bring up Clara several times, and she says like,
"Oh, she's asked her, can I come with you now?" And he's gone, "No, I'm not here to get you." Yeah,
but I think that was back in the house before the.
That might have even been before the house. I think outside the carriage. Anyway, yeah. She's pissed off. Oh yeah, because the Doctor said you've been on your own too long. Why didn't you use the other tablet thing I gave you? And she says,
I don't like her answer.
No one's good enough.
Hate that.
Awful.
I know people are flawed, but like,
why wasn't her dad good enough?
Yeah.
Why wasn't her husband good enough? Why wasn't the person she had children with good enough?
Obviously, it's very difficult to choose between 3 children, but why were none of them good enough?
Why were none of her children good enough? Unless at that point she'd figured out that, she doesn't age and she doesn't want a baby for her entire life.
Fuck that. Oh god.
But yeah, a really, really horrible thing.
Yeah.
I think again, right. I understand that her character arc is going this way for a reason. She's been on her own too long. She is becoming cold.
Yes.
But I don't think it sells enough. We needed something of a Shilda left, but there is nothing of that character left. She is completely different, which would have been fine if every now and then there'd been a little bit.
Yeah.
And there really isn't.
I suppose
even at the end when she has her, there's.
Well, I see a little bit in there. It's bad acting, but there's a little bit of
I don't know.
grasping at straws.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like.
Yeah.
Bad writing. I'm sorry.
No. It's there's some good stuff in there somewhere, but
either way,
yeah,
we've got purple.
Yes, and I think Mee's making the counterpoint that why didn't you give one of those to Clara? She'll blow away like smoke.
Yeah.
I do quite like that because that's foreshadowing.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we'll talk about that because I feel like I don't know your reaction there. I sense that you may take what happens there differently to how I do.
Oh.
I'm very much toy maker opinion of that. The thing that he says in the special. Where I suppose it's not spoiled. Who gives a shit? Clara's killed by a crow. Okay, there we go. So that
I actually felt a lot of pain in that.
No,
but I don't think it was because she died. I think it was because of Capaldi, and he was so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt really sad.
But I was remember how the toy maker says it, where it's like he was killed by
a crow.
He even looks confused by what he's saying.
Yeah.
And I was very much there with him with how bizarre all of that was.
I don't even think it's supposed to be a raven, isn't it? But I think it is a crow. Ravens are supposed to be a lot bigger. I don't think it's a raven that they've used. Anyway, yeah, but the smoke can parallel wonderful.
Yes, that's nice.
Especially because it's her fault.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So...
yeah, and they're climbing up a chimney, aren't they? Because they're about to get caught by Dude Face. So they shuffle around.
Is that the guy that's sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay.
They shuffle around his sofa, don't they?
Yeah.
And then she's about to shoot him.
Yes.
And the Doctor's like, "Don't you fucking dare!"
Doesn't he say something like, "If you do, you'll make an enemy of me"? Mm-hmm. Or is that? I think that might be someone else.
Oh no, that's in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Essentially, though, he's like, "Don't you fucking dare."
But he's woken up and wanders around a bit. and then goes outside, and he's like, "We've been robbed!
Fetch my blunderbuss!
Fetch my AK-47!" I did have to look up, because as much as I know piratical stuff, I have it in my head so much that a blunderbuss is that kind of very cliche trumpet version of it.
Yes.
And he walks in with what is essentially a large flintlock, and it's like,
Yeah.
don't know about that, but no, he is right.
Okay.
That is a blunderbuss.
Historical accuracy for once. Hey, no Viking helmets here.
There's a lot of other bullshit here. We'll get to that. And I can't even fucking remember how they escaped.
They go up the chimney.
Is it just up the chimney?
Yeah. They climb up the chimney.
And then what?
To climb
Fall
down the roof. Well,
because
we
there
know
are service hatches on the side of this building.
Well, we know that Capaldi can jump off of a roof into a tree and be okay, because he did it in his first ever episode.
But he had the post-regeneration zoomies.
He did have the post-regeneration zoomies.
he actually, in that scene, he actually broke his spine. But
Yeah.
We had the glowing.
Yeah.
Knitted him back together.
I think we just assume that they get off the roof okay.
Yeah.
There's probably a very convenient vine that they can climb down.
But I think then we cut to daytime, and they're still wandering.
They're still getting home, yeah.
They're still getting home.
How have they managed to get from one house to that house in the dead of night? And it still be the dead of night when they get there, and now
Unless that was coming on to dawn and this is early morning. Fuck it, I don't know. So they're walking along, and then they get ambushed by Sam Swift the Fast.
Sam Swift the Quick.
Oh, sorry. I was
right.
thinking about another shit name.
Sam Swift the Quick, who is Rufus Hound.
Okay. Don't.
He's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Why he's in this episode, I don't know.
Yeah, but the world of Doctor Who does that quite nicely, where they bring in
a random comedian.
My favourite, I think I've talked about this before, my favourite version of that is the actor who played Mr. Truman in the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Oh, yeah.
And he plays like the ancient lights will destroy you.
Yeah.
But no, this character's far worse.
I feel really bad saying it, because I saw Rufus Hound live again in a version of A Christmas Carol, and he was really good. But I don't like his comedy, and I don't really like the guy.
Oh, okay.
So watching him here not be very good, I was kind of like, oh God.
I do appreciate that the Doctor almost immediately pulls apart his name. I do like that they're not just sticking with that. That is a cool thing.
Says Sam Swift the Quick. Are we compensating for much? Yeah.
But then,
because it's all banter again, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's like, I hate
no
banter.
puns or banter. And then there's various exchanges where people are being knocked over and guns are being pointed at people.
Yeah. Shilder ends up with him. With Sam Quick on his back with a gun pointed at him.
Yeah.
And doesn't she say, what do you think? Should I kill him? He'll be dead tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
Awful. He'll be dead in a minute, sorry, is what she says. He'll be dead in a minute. And that's when he says, kill him and you make an enemy of me.
And do they just let them go?
She just lets him go.
Cool.
And he runs away with his friends.
So
great highwaymen.
Yeah. Isn't me not using their voice for that either?
No.
So they've partially broken their cover, even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not even remarked on.
No.
Sam doesn't say, "Oi, you sound funny." It's just not talked about.
No. And some of this, I'm losing it now. Some of it's a blur. Are we back at Mee's place? Because isn't it the
because he's
the Doctor walks down and is confronted by her.
Well, yeah, because she tells him to shut up and not because he basically says,
"Oh yeah,
I know that their
lives
are fleeting, but you can't just do that."
Because there's an exchange previously where he's like, "Is that your dad? That's really lame that you brought your dad."
Yeah. And then, shut up, you're not my dad. Yeah, she says to him, "Shut up," and I know that Capaldi says "shut up" a lot, but when she says it, it feels really cutting. I'm like, oh, like she actually says it with
venom.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, okay, that's mean. And then we get back to home.
Yeah, and we're confronted with
Mr. Butlerman.
Mr. Butlerman. Sorry, character names are gone.
Name.
Either way, there's a bit of an exchange there, and she says like he's great, but he's
Oh,
Like, as
yeah, because
opposed
she's
to-
come downstairs in a dress. She's all dressed up.
Now, again, I don't know the time period, but we're established that this is morning, or at least like a turn of the next day. I don't know if this is outrageous behaviour to be like, my lady, cocktail, would you like one?
Yeah. I was like, okay, maybe Clayton. His name's Clayton.
Cool.
Anyway, I think, he's just supposed to be a dithery old bloke, isn't he? So maybe he's just
he's our Butler What standing from the Lara Croft trilogy.
Yeah.
She'll shut him in the fridge later. Real niche reference to PS1 Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Block graphics.
Oh, that's so good.
Love it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which basically says, he's old and deaf. He's great because I can do whatever I want. And he loves me. It's like, oh, does he? Good. That's cute.
And are we about to get the reveal of what this creature is? Or is there an exchange? No, I think we are, because then that's... Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does he come in?
Fuck it, let's do it. I don't remember.
I can't remember why he comes in. But basically, like, the Doctor's still trying to figure out why Me wants the jewel.
And I think there is another question asked by her where it's like, please, can I come with you? And
Yeah.
And he's like, absolutely not. So she's like, all right, come last.
Yeah,
this was the last straw.
Pissed.
Door open.
Yeah.
And
where is this backlighting coming from?
I don't know.
There is smoke. There is golden backlighting. His eyes are glowing again.
In my head canon, he set the kitchen staff on fire.
I hope he has.
He's just tied them to a block and set them alight.
Bursts the door down.
Yeah. Reveal of
Leonidas?
Leadra. I think it's Leadra.
Leandro?
Leadra.
Something.
Fuck it.
I'm calling him Leonidas.
Yeah. And it is revealed that the amulet is a means to travel the galaxy. Well, at least that's what Me's been told.
Well, he's been told it can help travel the galaxy, and she's decided to run away with Lion Boy. Who has the best voice.
He does.
He's got a fantastic voice.
But as my notes do say, and I think it's a reasonable question to ask. What?
Wait, I don't know. I wasn't sure what you were going to say.
Think I was going to say?
I don't know.
No. What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know.
All right, I'm fucking going to
I
read
was
it.
just worried.
Why does Pissy Puss in Boots breathe fire?
I don't know.
And also, like, anatomically speaking, this feels like a creature that doesn't want to be breathing fire. Because cats, by nature, have got a lot of fur everywhere.
Everywhere. But he's not furry.
He is a bit.
He's got very long hair, but I think a lot of the prosthetic is smooth.
I thought there was hair, like, around the nuzzle.
Did he have whiskers?
I don't think he
Either
had...
way.
No, not like comedically long. Like a mouse.
I know he had very long hair and, like, elfy ears.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
It all just looked like a big mess.
Yeah, they just slammed a load of props
like,
together.
whatever prosthetics they had lying around, they were like, let's have some of this. Pointy ears? Ooh, cat nose? Yeah. Long hair? Yeah. Crown? Yeah.
It was the Joey from Friends moment with the trifle.
Yeah.
Jam good, beef good, peas good. So
I
think I've got. I've closed the tab. I'm gonna have to look it up. So the Doctor calls this creature something. I don't know if you remember what it was.
No.
I've got it here. He calls the creature Lenny the Lion.
Oh, he does!
So Lenny the Lion was a puppet from 1945. Have you seen Lenny the Lion?
Yeah, I love Lenny the Lion.
That is fucking horrible.
He's wonderful.
It's horrific.
He's better than fucking the first Mickey Mouse.
That's horrible. I don't love that.
I love Lenny the Lion.
Can I imagine what that voice must have been like if that thing comes out of the dark and like, hello everybody. I'm to eat your skin. All right, I won't shit on people who love Lenny the Lion.
You leave Lenny the Lion alone.
That is fair. And it's also, I'm not going to talk about the story in case you don't know, because it's a bit upsetting, but I think Lenny the Lion was based off of a real lion who didn't have a great time.
Oh, probably, yeah. Everything was.
Yeah, so...
the Doctor's basically shat on her whole plans, isn't he? And it's like,
yeah.
Oh, and he's, no, because he's trying to figure out why they haven't told him their plan. Because he's like, run away all you like. I don't care if you run off with Lenny the Lion, but why won't I approve of what you're doing?
Yeah.
And then they're like, the amulet requires a death.
And she's like, oh, what about my
What
butler?
about Butler?
No!
Yeah, and I was like, no, he loves you.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And I think at this point he has just realised what a shitty mistake he has made.
Yeah. But then I can't remember what provokes them to leave, but they do. I don't know whether because they know about the hanging.
The guards rock up.
Oh,
Those fucking idiots.
Yeah.
The idiot guards, bumbly guards rock up and somehow manage to burst into her house.
Now, you can write bumbly guards endearingly, and the ones that come to mind are our boys from Pirates in the Caribbean.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're
and it's
fun.
like these were like a attempted rip-off and they just don't work.
They're not good.
They don't work.
I mean, admittedly, they don't get all that much screen time.
They
but
don't.
They're not.
But what they do with it isn't wonderful either.
No.
But yeah, they come bursting in going, oh my god, oh, you're fine. We were told the nightmare was coming this way. And then they said,
oh, doesn't she say like the...
oh, this is his accomplice.
Yeah.
I've only just managed to overpower him and tie him up, but this is his accomplice, the doctor.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, cool, we'll take him to hang. At which point she's like, no. He just needs to be imprisoned.
Just stay here and watch him
Just
or whatever.
imprisoned.
And they ride off, and he's like, and then the doctor.
Yeah, because then they say to him, oh, look, Sam Swift is about to be hanged. He's about to be hanged. And then she's like, a death. And what does she call it?
I don't know.
Like a death that is... Oh, God. Why can't I talk?
Is it something gross? Not something like a death that is warranted.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
she
is it
does say
something
something
gross
like that.
oh.
Yeah. She's literally like, look, a death that is... Oh, God. Deserved. A deserving death, I think is what she calls it.
Why? What's he done?
He's a highwayman robber. That's literally it.
Okay, but given by what we see of him, he
He's a
can't
bit
be a
shit.
particularly successful
Yeah, no,
one. He's probably
exactly.
there being like, I'm going to take this chicken.
Can I have this, please? Thanks very much.
Yeah.
It's probably
I'll
what
give you
he's-
gold for it.
Yeah. But yeah. So then she's like, "Oh look, cool. We can fuck off now. Come on, Mr. Lion Man, in you get."
But to which the doctor's like, no, you fucking idiots. Look.
Yeah, look, there's the nightmare. He's off he
they go."
goes.
And I can't remember what the exact exchange is. Isn't it been like they're being paid?
Yeah, he
£20
basically
or
tries to
some
convince
shit.
them that he's part of Scotland Yard, and they're like, "What the fuck is Scotland Yard?" And he's like, "Shit, I'm too early."
But he does then say, like, I can tell you where me keeps her money, almost
£30, and they're like, "Hey, why didn't you say that in the first place?"
Oh, we love guards with
We love
zero moral
bribable
compass.
guards. Yeah.
We do get a cool horse riding scene from Capaldi.
He looks just as uncomfortable as he did in his first ever episode.
Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable.
He
on that
does not
horse
like horses,
at
does
all.
he?
Does he not actually like
I don't know. It doesn't look like it.
doesn't,
Like,
yeah,
both
it doesn't.
times I've seen him on a horse, it's like, you don't like this, do you?
No.
I don't know. Might be very uncomfortable.
I dare say it probably is. Because isn't he riding it without a saddle?
I think so.
No, that's not great.
Which
The saddles are
isn't
made
fun.
for a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Off he goes.
and we get a cut to the execution. Oh man,
Which has turned into a
barrage of
Milton Jones-esque one-liner vibe.
innuendos and
Yeah.
penis references, and
It's awful.
yeah, it's not.
I don't think... I know he goes like, while you laugh, I live. Again, not a historian. I don't think they'd have let him just chat.
No, because everyone comes to a hanging for the hanging.
Yeah, I know they've
They're
got to
not-
wait until the time allotted for reasons, but I don't think they'd just let him chat shit.
Again, I don't really know because it's a rubbish part of history. I don't really want to be looking up the ins and outs of people being hung.
No.
Yeah, great, but
Because people went to enjoy it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean that's fucked in itself.
That's
but they
fucked
probably
up.
had to wait for the trial to happen and all of that stuff. So these people are already gagging at the bit.
Yeah.
For this to happen, they're not there to have more dialogue thrown
No.
at them.
They're like, just fucking hang him!
But
But yeah, it's just weird.
but he continues to spat.
And also, like, again, I know we're not being historically accurate for a
No.
lot of these episodes, but these are jokes he's making that wouldn't be a thing.
No,
It's just weird.
and Doctor Who sometimes does references to slightly more suggestive material quite well, but this is just outright said.
Yeah.
usually it's done subtly
It's
and works quite well. And you're like, "Ooh, that's kind of saucy. Oh, that was a bit suggestive." But he's just saying, "Nah, I've got a big dick, mate." And this cunt
what do you
knows, and
say?
this one
Big
knows.
nose, big handkerchief, that kind of vibe. Yeah. And I'd love to talk to you, but I don't remember your names, which is horrendous. Like, what the fuck?
These people should be queuing up to
murder
pull
him.
the fucking
Yeah.
lever.
Yeah, it's just strange. It really is weird. And then somehow the doctor gets there before me does, or has me gone up there already?
No, I think me and Lino has turned up.
Oh, okay.
Because he screams from the carriage something to the effect of hang
him, yeah. And then me goes up and like, pays for a quick death.
Doesn't she give him a kiss?
Yeah, because doesn't he say something like, "Who will be the last to kiss these lips?"
Yeah.
And then,
Why does she do it?
Because she was there. I don't know.
It's all it's all very gross.
It's weird.
Yeah. And like, there are characters out there that when they do a sinister kiss, like they're about to kill someone, it works. So the best examples of this that come to mind are people like Ventress from the Clone Wars, or I've forgotten her name, and she was my first animated crush. Ares from Sinbad.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, sinister kiss. And things like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't work with me.
No, because she's not sinister. She's just a brat.
Yeah. Regardless, because I feel like we're just skirting around it before we actually get to it. The Doctor does eventually rock up, and more bullshit jokes are thrown around.
More bullshit jokes because he's trying to...
Poor Capaldi is doing his best, bless him. But even some of this stuff ain't great.
No, and you can kind of tell by the way he says it. Just like, yeah, cool. And then suddenly decides that he's got a pardon for Sam Swift in his pocket.
Again, okay, so this hangman has seen all of this happen and watched the Doctor do all of this exposition.
Yeah.
To then go to, oh, I've got this piece of paper, which does say what I'm saying, but you've seen me do all this prior. Why would he be like, well, sorry, cunt, why did you do all that?
Yeah. I suppose the guy's just doing his job.
Yeah.
All he needs to do is pull a lever. And he's like, yeah, okay, cool, fine.
Okay, that's also fine. But then why is it apparently acceptable for the crowd to be like, this messenger from Scotland Yard, or whatever he says, this higher up place that we may or may not know, but we have established it's a higher form of authority. Hang him!
Hang him instead!
What do the repercussions of that look like?
Well, no, but there is a wanted poster for the Doctor.
Is there?
Yeah, when the Doctor rocks up, he leans against the wall, and there's wanted the Doctor. And it's got a fantastic, like... It's clearly, like, a stock image that they've taken of Capaldi doing one of those, like, magician-esque poses, and they've just blacked it out.
Oh, nice.
So it looks like a silhouette. It's hilarious.
Oh,
yeah, so there is a wanted poster for the Doctor. The Doctor is wanted
okay.
along the lines of the Nightmare.
Right, okay. Well, that does make that slightly more...
Which is fantastic, the speed at which these posters have been produced.
Who's whipping this up?
Who has literally gone to a printing press and gone, we need one for the Doctor, and printed it out. But yeah, there is a poster for the Doctor, which again, by your logic, why is this executioner accepting a pardon from a guy who is also wanted for murder? No, for wanted to be hanged. Why hasn't he got a pardon for himself? Why has he got a pardon for this prick?
Either way,
none of it makes sense.
Either side of the spectrum, it's problematic. If you accept one, it doesn't work with the other.
Yeah. It's a mess. It's a mess.
But me wanders over with the purple crystal and slams it into
his chest.
Yeah. And
he writhes and falls to the floor.
And we get some dialogue from the... Okay. I know that colours mean things, but I did have to snigger a bit when it was like, purple, colour of death.
It is, though. Historically, in Rome, it was the colour of death.
Would it have been here, though?
Yeah, no. But I suppose, like, Hades isn't even Roman. I don't think it was the colour of death in Greek, ancient Greek.
And this is a Greek talisman.
This is a Greek talisman.
Yeah.
It was the colour of death in Rome for a while. Because I did the similar thing too. I was like, wait, what? So I looked it up and I was like, okay, fair. It is more associated with royalty and stuff though now.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose like things in the past, but you can't be like picking and choosing where it's like, this is a Greek thing, but we're choosing like...
But they've always been I say they've always, like, you know, you think back to the Empty Child episode, like mauve is the colour of danger. Is it? It's mauve and dangerous. It's colour of danger.
Isn't that just something fun that the Doctor's throwing out instead of like this colour that we're all seeing in the sky? That is a pre-established colour of death.
I don't know. It was just odd. I don't get it. It was an unnecessary bit of dialogue. It's a purple light shining into the sky. We've established already from Leonidas that we need a death to make the amulet work.
Yeah.
And that's all it needed to be.
So, I mean, if it wasn't enough to say this means death, we get a big old porthole in the sky and a random planet.
Yeah, a bunch of planets, isn't it?
I think it's just the one. It's one planet and then a load of ships.
Oh, yeah.
And they all start firebombing.
Yeah.
I love all the people that try to return fire. That's beautiful.
Well done. They're protecting their planet. Good one.
Now...
Yeah, and then Lion Man makes himself visible to everyone.
He does, and then he starts like jumping around, chasing people, tripping people up, but not really doing anything else.
Not killing anybody.
No, I mean, I know we'd probably never see that in Doctor Who, but we have. When, like, for example, Tooth and Claw, one of my favourite episodes.
Great episode, yeah.
People died.
People died.
Like, you didn't have to see it, and you didn't.
You didn't
You
see
just
it. You
heard
just
the ripping.
heard the ripping and the shredding, and that's all you needed. But he doesn't rip or shred anybody.
No.
It's wasted.
He's also a very slow-moving creature.
Really slow.
To the point where... This is the point where Me's like, oh my god, what have I done?
Yeah, because it's finally revealed that actually he's not going to let her travel with him. He's just bringing other people. Yeah. Because he lied, didn't he? He said he was the last one.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, there's clearly more.
Again, annoyed me because why did the Doctor not get pissed at that? He got pissed at the Silurian for the, in Matt Smith's era, like, how dare you say you're the last of your kind, blah, 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 blah. What? Either way, they've all come through now trying to kill everybody, and now, suddenly, Me's gone, oh no!
It is a very jarring change of heart.
This is what I meant before. Like, if there had been little splatterings of a Shielder, I would have accepted this. It's shit.
It's something that I'm going to kind of dox as the Anakin issue.
Uh-huh.
So, kind of like when he gets knighted as Vader and then goes off to kill children.
Yes.
There's still quite a lot of Anakin there, and then suddenly nothing.
Nothing.
This is the kind of the polar opposite, where there's nothing of a Shielder left in Me, and then suddenly it's back, and it doesn't see this. There's no build up to it. It's just hard cut.
If I think I even would have accepted it if Leonidas had like threatened a child or a baby. To have a little bit of a flash to like, oh, no.
My children, yeah.
My children.
Yeah.
Of which I kept the entry to remind myself not to have any more.
Yeah.
Clearly that would have played more of an emotional impact.
Or a screaming mother being like trying to
save her children.
Yeah, and seeing herself in the mum.
Or seeing a dad try to save their child would have maybe sparked memories of her dad. Yeah. Again, messy and lazy. Like, oh, come on.
And I don't think we can say maybe she saw that in her head and that wasn't for us, because we needed that as the viewers in order to make that a compelling change.
Yeah. There wasn't even a moment where you saw something in her face.
No.
She was just suddenly, oh my god, Doctor, what have I done? Oh my god! And just became useless within a heartbeat.
Yeah.
She's been this like solid, angry person for this entire episode, and then suddenly she's faffing around going, we've got to do something!
Yeah. I think this is when she jumps down and tries to stop Lino from tackling people or whatever he's up to.
And then we get that awful slow-mo jump from Pete Capaldi.
Oh, yeah.
I shield her! And jumps. And it's like, why is it in slow motion? It's not
as triumphant a moment as the episode writer probably thought it was.
No, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. He's jumped down.
And I think that's when Lion-O tries to pursue them, but is very slow at doing it because she's I think she's struggling at a way to stop it, and I think the Doctor interjects and says that you can, and she remembers the thing, to which Lion-O's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then chases them, which he doesn't, because they get up there with time to spare. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Ravaging someone, I don't know.
Tackling more people, but then not doing anything. And I should also say that there's some fun firebombing going on here, but again, to not really any effect. No one's really getting.
No, and
some people have been.
The ships are coming through
over.
very slowly. I think they mentioned something, but I think the Doctor says that they're taking time to materialize in this plane or something. But I don't know if the firebombs can come through. Surely the fucking ships can.
Either way, they jump up and give Sam the last of the white chocolate tablet.
Because doesn't she really like advertise it to Leonidas that that's what she's doing as well?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we can stop it, and like basically holds it into his face. At which point he should have just grabbed it, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just put it on his head.
I don't know why, because there's still literal time when again, I don't know how the beam works or anything like that. I'm not a Catman beam scientist, but surely the laws in the episode itself would still be fulfilled if he was like, when the beam turns to gold, if he just went up with a scimitar and cut Sam's head off.
Yeah.
A death would still happen.
Yeah.
And therefore...
be fine.
Yeah.
Or kill a shielder.
And literally anyone.
Literally anybody, because he's pissed off.
Yeah, but just stands there like, no, my
brothers.
my miss. I think doesn't he...
Spare me, my brothers, I think is what he says.
And then gets
disintegrated.
Gets deleted.
But again,
photoshopped away.
How did they do that?
I don't know. And if they could do that to him, why are they not doing it to loads of people instead of very inaccurate firebombs?
Right?
I mean, again, it's probably some bullshit where it's like, oh, they're all connected via a hive mind. That
They just all forgot him.
What was that thing that we talked about in the last episode?
The Galactic Hub!
They're all connected to the Galactic Hub. You could just delete people, but only those lion people that are part of the Galactic Hub. Yeah, it's all shit. Lion-O's gone, portal's closed.
Thingy-Bob's alive. Sam's alive.
Sam's alive.
With a pendant still attached to his chest.
Yeah. Don't think they ever really...
They don't really take it back, do they?
No. But he's just alive. And
he goes, I'm alive! I'm alive! And everybody cheers!
Why are they cheering?
Minutes
ago they were wanting him dead!
They're like, yeah, he's alive, now we can hang him!
This is the most changeable crowd I've ever seen.
Honestly, they're just out for a good time.
They are, but I don't think they know what time they want.
Honestly, it's so weird.
Yeah.
He's alive and he does this awfully acted like, I'm alive! Shout, and I'm like, calm down.
Yeah. But...
yeah.
I have nothing more to add, Pete, because we've got to get to the...
Well, we're in a pub now.
Yeah, we've got to get to this scene.
Where Sam Swift is hanging out with his executioner.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's obviously he's at the table with Capaldi and me for a bit.
Well, because we get a bit of horrible dialogue from him.
He goes off to get more drink.
But before he does, he looks back at me and says, I haven't forgotten about that kiss. Fuck off, mate. You are gross, sir.
Also, she killed you.
Yes. I think you've forgotten about something else fairly crucial.
She killed you.
Don't...
Yeah, but when the camera pans to him when they're talking about him, he's chatting with the executioner.
See, now, I don't know if I hate it or love it. In a way, I kind of love it.
Hate what?
The fact that he's just having a drink
with his executioner. I think it's probably something that happened.
Yeah.
He's just doing his job.
Yeah. He probably knew this guy prior to it.
Probably. He's probably robbed him.
Well, either that or just was friends with him in the town or whatever.
Yeah.
But
again, as well, he's a highwayman just chilling in a town.
Yeah.
Full of his wanted posters. No. Go to the next town.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Clearly doesn't have that much in the way of self-preservation, but
nah.
So it's kind of speculated that, because I don't think it's actually outright confirmed that all of the regeneration power of the tablet was counteracted but matched by the death of...
I think the Doctor does say something along the lines of, I think that...
Yeah, but he doesn't say for sure. He's like, I'm not sure.
I don't think he's immortal. Do you want him to be? And she goes, I don't think I want anybody to be.
Yeah. So I'm trying to pick out the good bits of this. I know there's a reference. I know you probably don't care about it because it's about a character that you don't like, but...
Oh, the Jack. Yeah.
I enjoyed that. That was nice.
Yeah, I liked it.
I don't, because knowing Jack, it probably means so. you probably don't want him to find you because that's not a good day for you. But you're either going to get fucked or shot in the head. It's one It's one or the other.
I don't know. I get it. It was just a conversation that just tied up everything that we've just seen, and they've already argued about. No, this conversation didn't really bring anything new, except for the Doctor now deciding that maybe he's done a very good thing saving her. But what has made him change his mind so drastically?
Yeah, and it's not like she
saved one bloke.
And it's not like she's saying, okay, everything that I'm going to do from now on is something that you would admire, because she's still saying things to the effect of, doesn't she say something like,
I'm going to protect the world from you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Admittedly, she is also saying, like, I'm going to protect the people that left behind and things like that. But she is also, it's almost like the whole thing with Queen Victoria. It's like,
they're frenemies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, jumping ahead slightly to when we see her next, what she's doing is not looking after the Doctor's leftovers.
She's photo bombing.
Well, even when we meet her next, she's not doing what she said she was going to do. She's not looking after the people that the Doctor leaves behind. She's looking after his enemies.
Oh, yeah.
She is not doing what she said she was going to do.
No. And I don't like how kind of... Is it self-righteous? I don't know.
It is self-righteous. It's a self-appointed thing.
She's also... The title that she gives her, the patron saint of
the Doctor's leftovers.
It's not...
I mean, fucking Bradley Walsh did a better job at that later on.
Yeah.
He actually went and found the support group and found the people. Where was she for that? I don't know if I don't think it rounds her off very well. She's still a bitch. At the end of this episode, I don't see why the Doctor now thinks that it's okay that he's saved her.
I mean, admittedly, she's less gun-ho than she was.
For now.
Yeah.
But she's said again and again, I've got a finite memory. She'll forget this. And
he's made the point that he didn't realise initially that human kindness would be so fleeting, and this is what's changed her. It's probably going to happen again.
Yeah. Yeah, because he says earlier on, doesn't he? Like, I didn't think your heart would rust because I kept it beating. Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Again. I think her character was a really good idea and just not done properly. I think she needed to have been a whole season.
And at least these two ideas spaced further apart by some episodes unrelated.
With maybe snippets of her in between. I think this was a big arc that needed to happen rather than two. I think it was really wasted. It could have been really, really good.
Yeah.
To have seen her because that montage was too small to make sense of the things that she has seen and why her character has gone the way it has. Because she would have seen all of these awful things, but she would have seen some really great things too.
But again, if that first episode was all we saw of her, at least for quite a significant period of time, that montage would have made sense. But like you say, because we got this episode, it doesn't.
Yeah. I just think it fell flat on its face.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, man.
It is.
It really is, because it would have been such a cool idea.
But we're back in the TARDIS.
Back in the TARDIS, playing some guitar.
And Clara walks in.
Great. As if this couldn't get any worse.
Oh no, we're never going to be on Still Got Legs.
Will be a nice reprieve.
Yeah, if you hate Clara, come to us.
Find us.
Come to us. Yeah. So, I do like, because doesn't she come in with something? She says she has something for him.
And doesn't he go, "Who are you? What do you want?" Effectively.
But he also says something to the effect of, like, "Are you sick? Am I sick?
Am I sick? Yeah.
Have I? Oh, well, I think I've got the.
Are you dying?
Quote. I've got the direct quote here. Are you going to say you don't want to travel with me anymore because I did a thing?
Oh yeah.
which is very kind of. It's not great on him because it's like looking back on the terrible things that he's put her through, and then just considers that like a wishy-washy thing that he did.
Yeah, it's like the Mummy on the Orient Express vibes.
Yeah.
No, sorry, the Kill the Moon vibes. Yeah.
And it turns out...
Are you dying? Am I dying? Are you never going to travel with me again because I said a thing? That was it. Yeah.
It turns out that one of Clara's students had done well on a essay about
a make-believe Winston Churchill interview.
Yeah.
Doesn't he say, it's not my fault, she never told me it had to be imaginary.
And has taken a selfie, which seems like odd.
With Clara.
Was she holding something at least?
She was holding the interview that said A+.
Okay, good. Because in my headcanon I had it that her direct like thank you thing was a selfie of her and
Clara.
It.
Yeah, it's her and Clara holding her report thing. But also, this is yet another child that has seemingly been in the TARDIS and taken somewhere else.
Again, Clara not being a particularly good adult.
Yeah, unless the Doctor brought Winston Churchill to her, because I think it's established, isn't it, that Winston Churchill, he knows about the Doctor, doesn't he? Because there's that whole episode with the Daleks and stuff.
Yes.
And he's got the TARDIS's number. He phones the Doctor, doesn't he?
I don't think we can take anything that happens in the wife of the Doctor as canon, because that all gets erased.
It does all get erased.
So yeah, you are right. He has the phone to the TARDIS and all that stuff. I mean, we don't need to talk about Winston Churchill and various war crimes and stuff.
No, maybe not. Either way, that child knows about time travel.
Yes.
Great.
I said in a comment that I sent to Still Got Legs as they were doing episodes, but this is again Clara very slowly destroying the reputation that her children have with their parents.
Yes.
Coming home and them saying stuff. And it's not going to be... Okay, you haven't seen Primeval, have you, or have you?
Bits and bobs.
Okay, this is a very niche reference, and it'd be very niche for you, and maybe even more niche to the people listening, but I have to get this out here. There's a moment in season 2 where there's a little girl called Tyler who gets lost in the past with the scorpions and shit in the sand, and she comes back, because she goes into the past chasing her dog, comes back with the dog, she's fine. The dad is mid being told that she's dead. She walks up and she comes in and she's like, Dad, I've been to the past and I almost got eaten by giant scorpions. And his reaction is, of course you did, darling. Of course you did. This is not how this would really go.
No.
You can't write it like that, because there would be therapy. There would be doctor's visits. There would be stuff that...
Amazing. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Clara's a very irresponsible teacher.
Yeah, this is having... I'm sure there are some great books that are being written by these people when they're older and can process this, but as young children who think this is, of course, happening and only focus on that, they're going to want to tell every cunt they see.
Of course, man. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, Doctor sees with his little... binocular eyes that there's somebody in the background of this picture.
There is.
It looks like it's a really bad Photoshop, isn't it?
Is that not? I didn't look at it properly.
It
but
looked
it's just...
to me really bad.
Oh, so she... Why wouldn't they just
put her in the background? Because I think she needed to be more in focus for when you zoom in. Because obviously when you zoom in to the background of a picture, you get more and more pixelated.
Yeah.
But it's very, very clear.
Oh.
So it's just like, I don't think that looks right, but yeah.
My favourite moments in Doctor Who where this has been done and it's so egregious is, admittedly, far further back, and it's in Rose, when Rose goes over to our favourite conspiracy freak's house, and it's just, here's the Doctor very crudely standing at the JFK assassination and by random family
head.
By the Titanic.
Yeah. They
Beautiful.
haven't got much better.
No.
But yeah. But what... Why does he pretend that he's not zooming in? It's very obvious that he's zooming in on something.
And why doesn't he tell her?
Yeah, why doesn't he tell her? He's very obviously zooming in, so why is Clara not going, why the fuck are you zooming in to a picture of a school child?
Or
where is her
a bush.
safety? Yeah. And then why doesn't he just say, oh, look, that's a shielder. We know a shielder.
Yeah. I don't... This is part of my dislike between... I mean, obviously, there's nothing really wrong with Capaldi in the way that he portrays the Doctor, but the Doctor and Clara's relationship, again, it's the not communicating.
They're awful
thing.
communicators. They're awful.
Horrific.
how do we end? Because
we get a nice hug.
we get a nice
hug where I think it's Clara coming behind the Doctor and giving him a hug, and he just kind of accepts it.
Yeah, he kind of pats her, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a very kind of grandfathery or uncle.
It's cute.
I like
it's
it.
really, really cute. But they say something, and then we get a zoom in on the Doctor's face.
She says something like,
does he say, "Are you going to travel with me for kind of
something like that?" It's hinting at the non-longevity of.
Yes, yeah, it's very much like
she's
not going to be here forever.
And he has that look,
that
of
awful look,
fondness, but also fear,
complete despair. Yeah, it's so good.
It is very.
He's
very
just
good.
brilliant. How he can make his face do things.
Yes,
I've said this so many times, but yes, but yeah, it zooms in on him, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I think that is where the episode
That
ends.
is it, because then we get the next time. Woo! We're finally there.
Sauce!
We're finally gonna be there.
It's some sauce we've got coming.
I can't wait.
It's so good.
So good.
And we got through it. We got through this shit.
We did, and we talked
That's
about
our
it for longer
reward.
than I thought.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at the time thing. I'll see if I can get it. So we can say on the episode how long. An hour 15.
Ooh!
Fuck.
Well done, us.
There you go. But before we wrap up this episode, grab your sticks and hit them together because it's time for some Morris music and our section of the show, which of course is our Daft Cunt of the Week.
What do they think they're doing?
Your ham-fisted bun-bender.
He's an unimaginative plodder.
Apart from losing the master and the missile, you're doing very well, Brigadier.
I helped you devise a less idiotic plan of attack of all the idiotic suggestions.
You're an idiot.
You will bring a terrible retribution upon yourselves if you persist.
Shut up, you silly old fool!
You would dare to harm the great wizard Queequeg-Quag?
Charming. Yeah, they're round the twist, if you ask me.
Sleepy Man.
Sleep? Wait, what?
It's the sleeping man that's. Why is he sleeping on his sofa, and why can he not see that they're there? In the housebreak.
Yeah, we do. Okay. Now, I'm not writing canon bits for this that didn't happen.
Oh.
But I imagine there may have been a conversation given the time era that this is set in.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it would have been. How do I word this properly? The man would have been expected to defend the lady in a situation. He didn't really do that. No. He just sat there like, "No, sir, don't. If you shoot me, I'll tell the bullet to not hit me." But in no way to defend his wife in that situation.
Yes.
I imagine there was a conversation / argument when they
and he's
got
sleeping
back.
on the sofa.
Yeah, I reckon that's what that is.
Maybe, yeah.
Again, I'm pulling shit out of my ass.
That's
But
fair.
that
That's
is my headcanon
fair
reason
dues.
why he's on the sofa. And also, men back then, men aren't great now, but men back then, smelly. No one's washing properly. He's out eating dates and imagine, I can't remember the name of the guy, but Return of the King, gross tomato boy.
Denethor.
Every cunt's eating like that in this universe. So
Tomatoes everywhere.
Yeah, you don't want that guy sleeping next to you.
Fair, okay. I'll accept you. I'll accept your rebuttal.
So mine, I think mine is the executioner.
Aww.
I know.
He's just doing his job.
I know. But then to be like, yes, I accept the words that this person is saying, but wanted poster over there.
If he's being presented with a pardon by Thomas Cromwell, he's going to accept that.
But why? Yeah, I think it's either going to be him or the two guards that get the guards just turned around by
money.
An additional. I know it's quite a lot of money back then.
Yeah, it's
but
fortune for them.
It's not from the £20 they talked about earlier to the £30. It's not a huge jump.
No. If he'd have said £40, maybe.
That's your line in the sand.
That's my line in the sand. Double what they're earning.
Double or nothing.
Sorted.
But yeah, that brings us to the end of hopefully the last. I think it is the last donker for this season.
Yeah, I think it is. I think the rest of them are fucking golden.
So thank you very much for listening to this episode. If you have any comments or thoughts, or just something that you want us to read out, if you love Clara, it's fine.
Yeah,
there's another podcast out there for you, but you should we'll keep on listening to this one. I say hurriedly.
Yeah. Please don't
go. But
Listen to both.
Yes,
Get a balanced opinion.
You can do that. If you have any comments, throw them onto the Twitter, which you'll find the link for in the show notes, or you could go over to our YouTube page where you'll find all these shows as well, and you can put them there, and we will read anything out on the show within reason.
I don't think we need to be within reason.
I don't know. But until the next time, Pete and I are flying into time and space and some absolute bangers.
Yeah!
Woo!
Moisturize me, moisturize me.
Earth will be sucked